So I have a student on one of my prior YouTube clips who asks, Mike, where does Amboss and Kaplan Qbank stand for Step 2 CK Qbanks? Now I know many of you are studying for Step 1, okay? So I will address this for both Step 1 and Step 2, Amboss and Kaplan, okay? So before we get started, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button. Hit the bell if you want notifications. Find me on Instagram at Melman_medical, MEHLMAN_medical. Link is down below. Find me on Telegram. Recently created a Telegram group and channel. Links are down below. Now, this student's question about the role of Amboss and Kaplan Qbank for 2CK, and I know many of you are studying for Step 1. Look, I have made several videos on how I believe the second best Qbank for USMLE after UWorld is USMLE Rx, not Amboss, not Kaplan, okay? And real quick, the reason USMLE Rx I view as the best is because the questions are simplified and they will teach you the foundation you need to know. They're not overly complicated, all right? Students who have a complaint about USMLE Rx, it'll be because they think the questions are a lot more simple than UWorld. Once again, that's okay. The aim is to increase your score on the USMLE. It doesn't have to be where every question has 3 or 4 twists and turns that somehow is going to be synonymous with a greater score augmentation. It's not the case. So USMLE Rx is the second best Qbank. Now, this student's question about Amboss and Kaplan, it tends to be where students will be in an Amboss or a USMLE Rx camp as far as which Qbank they like to do outside of UWorld. Amboss is more about marketing, okay? The name has become much more prominent, mainly because they're really putting themselves out there. However, I can communicate that whenever a student sends me a DM with some weird fucking question that has no relation to the NBME content at all, it's from Amboss. Amboss is essentially the modern Kaplan. Kaplan has no role in current USMLE prep, okay? When I sat the steps a decade ago, Kaplan at the time was frequently used, mainly just because it's a prior big name in terms of branding, and the USMLE resources were not as well developed. So Kaplan was frequently used. Now it's not, and the reason is because Kaplan is just full of minutiae, it's misguided, it doesn't relate well to the NBME material. You might get a question on optic cup embryology in Kaplan, and the next thing you know, most of the students watching this who have no idea about what they should know for USMLE are studying optic cup embryology when it's a big waste of their fucking time, okay? Now, Amboss, it's nitpicky and borderline with many of its questions, similar to how Kaplan used to be, and that rubs me the wrong way, okay? I don't like that. That's my opinion, okay? Some people say, no, Michael, fuck you, I like Amboss. That's okay, we all will have different opinions, but that's just my observation, is that every time a student sends me a question that's very off the mark in relation to the NBME material, it's from Amboss. Amboss's library is also superfluous. It has a lot of information that you don't need to know for USMLE, okay? So you have to ask yourself what the purpose is. Is it to read endless info just to feel good, build potential energy, or is your aim actually to build kinetic score augmentation? So Amboss, the library, it might feel good to read a lot of info, but it's too much information, okay? I don't like my students focusing on a lot of extraneous info. I want them just getting their scores up. And if we're talking Qbanks, obviously there's UWorld, that's our gold standard. And then if there's going to be a second Qbank implemented, only some of the time, okay? But if there's going to be a second Qbank, incorporated, not implemented, then I choose USMLE Rx for my students. You know the deal. I'm going to continue to make more content. If you like my stuff, subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate your time. That's it.